Welcome to the Yoga Trees prenatal video. At the beginning of our practice, we'll take a few minutes just to come right into the moment, to allow ourselves to ground and to let go of anything that hasn't been serving us in the day. So as we take our time here, we can lie back on our mat, maybe lying on our left side, maybe popping a pillow under your head and a cushion between your knees. Or maybe you'd prefer to be sitting and possibly sitting in against the wall with your back supported. So choosing whatever feels right for you in this moment. We give ourselves a few moments here to get nice and comfortable. And once we are settled here, let's begin our practice. Let's take 3 deep breaths as we breathe in through our nose. As we exhale, letting go. Inhaling in through the nose. And then exhaling out through the mouth, letting go. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth, letting go. And allowing ourselves to let go of any stresses, any worries, as we allow ourselves to come into this very precious present moment. And we remind ourselves that this is our time. So for the next while, no one's going to need anything from us. There'll be nothing that needs to be done. No phones ringing, no doorbells ringing. There'll be no deadlines, no demands on us at all. That this is our precious time. So as we settle here, let's bring ourselves right into this moment. Let's become aware of each of our senses and using this as a tool to ground us. As we become aware first of our sense of hearing, maybe listening out to any sounds that we hear around us. Maybe when we hear a sound, we move on to the next sound without judgment, without analysing it. Just becoming aware of each sound as we hear them. And drawing our awareness now into our sense of smell by taking a deep breath into our nose. Becoming aware of any aromas, any odours we smell around us. And as we exhale out through the mouth, licking our lips, becoming aware of our sense of taste, any taste we can taste in our mouth. And as we breathe in through the nose, we become aware of this sense of touch, this coolness of our breath against our nostrils. And maybe as we exhale, we become aware of our sense of taste, any taste we can taste in our mouth. And as we keep our eyes closed, we draw our awareness to the darkness that we can see and our sense of sight. And while keeping our eyes closed for a little while longer, we visualize what this room around us looks like, what these 4 walls around us and the ceiling above us, and then the floor beneath us. As we bring ourselves right into this very precious present moment. And how wonderful it is to be in this moment, with our little babe growing within us. To be the chosen mum for this growing baby. How blessed we are, how lucky we are. And then we draw our awareness then into our breath. We can keep our hands where they are, or if it feels okay, we might like to simply place our hands on baby, on our belly. And as we inhale, we can allow our belly to expand and to rise. As we exhale, we can allow our belly to slightly deflate. Inhaling as our belly expands, baby moves towards our hand. Exhaling, our belly slightly deflates. Inhaling, our belly expands and rises. Exhaling, our belly slightly deflates. And continuing with this feeling of our belly rising and falling with our breath. And as we breathe here in this way with this belly breath, we're retraining ourselves to breathe as we were intended to. And when our little baby is born, we'll see their breath, observing their breath as they breathe into their belly. And we try to retrain ourselves to breathe like this, like our baby will, belly expanding and releasing with the breath. And then as we slowly start to bring our awareness back into our body, we wiggle our fingers and we wiggle our toes. We rub the palms of our hands off each other to generate a little bit of heat. And then we place our hands on our heart and we set ourselves our sankalpa, our intention, our positive affirmation. And this can be like our mantra. It's a positive message that we're sending ourselves. So, nice examples maybe I am calm, I am present, I am positive, I am healthy, I am strong. Maybe coming close to your due date, it may be something like, I have everything I need to birth my baby. I am ready. So, whatever comes to our heart first, let's mentally repeat that to ourselves 3 times. If we're not quite sure what our intention should be, maybe don't put too much thought into it right now. Maybe after our practice, maybe jot down a few little positive intentions we'd like to bring into our lives, maybe positive characteristics. So right now, choosing whatever feels right, as we mentally repeat it to ourselves 3 times, allowing it to sink deep into our subconscious. And once we've set our intention, let's draw our awareness once more back into our body, wiggling our fingers and our toes. And when we're ready, let's roll onto our side and let's slowly make our way up into standing at the back of our mat and getting ready for our asana practice. Surya Namaskar, Prenatal Sun Salutation. Standing with your feet hip distance apart in Tadasana. Inhaling, reaching your arms up, gazing up. Exhaling, swan diving forward, tiptoeing your hands down your legs as you make your way down onto your mat onto all 4s. Knees hip distance apart, thumbs come touching in the center as you step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Inhaling, rising up, reaching your arms up for a low lunge. Exhaling, releasing your arms back. Nice big circle with the arms. Hands come back down onto the mat, releasing the right leg back. Onto all 4s, flowing through swooping cat here. Exhaling, rounding your spine, bum back towards your heels. Inhale, swoop forward. Once you reach your hands, straighten your arms. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, coming forward. Knees are at least hip distance apart, a little bit wider as we progress in pregnancy to have ample room for baby. Back down onto all 4s, curl the toes under, downward dog. And let's bend one knee at a time, pedaling the feet out, waking up the feet, waking up the legs. Exhaling, coming back down onto all 4s. Thumbs touching the center, step the left foot forward this time. Hands onto the thighs or reach your arms up for a low lunge. Exhaling, releasing your arms back down. Stepping the left leg back onto all 4s again. Tiptoe your hands back towards your legs as you inhale, rise up. Stretching your arms up, gazing up. Exhaling, coming back to Tadasana. Moving through a little movement break here as we swing our arms from side to side. Waking up your hips, your upper body. Loosening out the body. Back to our Tadasana, hands come into prayer in front of the heart. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive forward, tiptoe your hands down your legs, supporting yourself as you come back down onto all 4s. Thumbs touching the center again, step your right foot forward. Right elbow comes onto the right thigh as you reach your left hand back, opening the chest. Either keeping your hands back or maybe grab a hold of that inner right thigh with the left hand. Right hand stretches out if you like, all the way staying in the earlier variation. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands down. Stepping that right leg back, flowing through our swooping cat. Exhaling, rounding your spine, bum draws back. Inhale, swoop forward. Straighten your arms, exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, coming forward like a little internal dance for a baby. Exhaling, inhaling. Back onto all fours, curl the toes under, downward dog. Pulsating here in the feet, inhaling, rising up in the balls of the feet. Exhaling, drawing the heels down. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling down. A couple more times in your own breath. Back down onto all fours, thumbs touch in the center. This time step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Left elbow comes onto the left thigh. Right arm stretches back. Again, either staying here or reach that right hand back. Either grab hold of your t-shirt or to the inner left thigh. Reaching that left hand forward if you like. Exhale, release the hands back down. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, nice big circle with the arms as you release them down. Stepping that left leg back onto all fours. Tiptoe the hands back towards the legs. So we support ourselves, rising back up, reaching your arms up. Exhaling back to Tadasana, feet hip distance apart. Let's bring our hands into Yoni Mudra, thumbs touching, index fingers touching. Taking a couple of breaths here, maybe little micro movements in our body here, slightly rocking forward and back. Slowing down the breath. Inhale, rise back up again. Exhaling, swan diving forward, tiptoeing the hands down the legs, supporting yourself as you come down onto all fours. Thumbs touch in the center, right foot comes to the outside of the right hand. Hands come onto the front thigh, lifting the back knee up if you like as you reach your arms up. Crescent pose. Exhale, release your arms back. Nice big circles with the arms as you inhale, come up. Exhale, the arms come back down again. Inhale, rise up. Releasing the knee at any time if you like. And now exhale, release the knee down. Releasing that right leg back onto all fours. Swooping cat. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, swooping forward, straighten your arms. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, rounding. Waking up your spine. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, back up onto all fours. Curl our toes under, downward dog. Holding here in our downward dog, spreading out our fingers. Come back down onto all fours. Thumbs touch in the center. This time step the left foot forward, reaching the arms up. Hands come onto the front thigh, keeping the knee down or lifting the back knee up for a high lunge. Nice big circles here with the arms again. Inhaling. And then exhale, drop the back knee. Legs come back down onto all fours. Tiptoe the hands back towards the legs as we make our way back up into standing. Coming onto your mat and making your way onto all fours. Shoulders are over your wrists, your knees are hip distance apart. Flowing here through cat-cow pose. As we inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, rounding. Flowing here for a few more breaths and just ensuring that our spine doesn't dip on the inhalation, that we lengthen here to support the lower back. Pressing the palms of the hands into the mat. Grounding here. Mobilizing our spine, waking up our spine. Curling our toes under, lifting our knees up, rising up into our downward dog. And just slowly pedaling the feet out here, waking up the legs. Keeping the upper body strong as we press the palms of our hands firmly into the mat. Exhaling, making our way onto all fours. And then releasing back into child's pose. Bum draws down towards the heels, the arms are extended out in front. Taking a nice couple of breaths here. And if this feels uncomfortable, we can always rest our chin in our hands, especially if we're suffering any heartburn. Making our way back onto all fours, drawing our left hand down and releasing our right hand underneath our left. Left arm stretches over our ear, gazing up towards the ceiling. for a nice gentle prenatal safe twist. Exhaling, releasing your hand back down, stretching your left hand out this time and releasing it underneath your right arm. Releasing that right arm over the right ear. And again, gazing up towards the sky. Feeling this nice opening in our chest so we can breathe fully and we can create more room for baby to move. Making our way now back down onto all fours. And let's begin to move in little hip circles here. We can begin with small circles, or if it feels okay, we can come all the way forward and all the way back. This is a great pose to move into during labour, during breath, during our first stage of breath. And now let's move around in the opposite directions. Again, either moving in small circles, or if it feels good, moving in nice big circles. Always ensuring we've got ample room for our bumps so our knees are well spread out. Coming back onto all fours. Bringing our right hand into the centre as we release our left arm up towards the ceiling, gazing up. Exhaling, releasing your left hand down, releasing your right arm up towards the ceiling and extending here. Moving from side to side, opening our chest, opening our heart. Counterbalancing any rounding in the spine that might happen. As we inhale, gaze up. Exhaling, release. Making our way back down onto all fours. Let's release back down into our child's pose. Bum draws back. Remembering our alternatives here. If it feels more comfortable, you might like to rest your chin in your hands. And then making our way now up into sitting. Into Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet come together and thumbs can come into the arches of the feet, opening your feet as if you're opening a book. And then crossing your legs, coming into a comfortable seated position, releasing your right hand down as you stretch your left arm over. And releasing to the opposite side here. Stretching the extended arm over the ear and gazing up towards the extended arm. As we exhale, release, inhale, extend. Exhale, switch and release. Inhale, extend. Waking up our side ribs. Releasing any tightness that might be in the rib cage. Coming now back down onto all fours. And making our way up into standing. As we inhale, rise up, reach our arms up. Exhaling, coming back to Tadasana. Coming onto the long end of our mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach our arms up, grabbing a hold of our right wrist with our left hand, extending out to the left. Inhaling, coming up, releasing the opposite direction. Lower body like nice and strong, upper body like bamboo. Exhaling, release, inhaling, extending. Moving here from side to side in our own rhythm of breath. Creating space here in our side ribs so we can breathe fully. Coming back onto the top of our mat. Stepping our leg back 4 to 5 feet. Right knee, right toes pointing out to the right, right knee stacked over the right ankle. Moving into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Checking to make sure our wrists are shoulder distance as we gaze out towards the middle finger of our right hand. Shoulders are relaxed. Left leg is straight. Sliding that left hand down the left leg or placing it on baby as we inhale, rise up with that right arm. Exhaling, releasing the right elbow onto the right thigh, Parsvakonasana. Left arm stretches over the left ear. Gazing up towards that left arm, that feels okay. And breathing fully here. Inhaling, coming up, squaring your feet, left toes point out 90 degrees. Into Virabhadrasana 2 on the left side. Again, checking to make sure our wrists are in line with our shoulders as we gaze out towards the middle finger of the left hand. Shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. Left knee is drawing towards our left baby toe. Sliding that right hand down the right leg or placing it on baby. As we inhale, rise up with that left arm. gazing up. Exhaling, elbow comes down, Parsvakonasana. Right arm reaches up and over the right ear. Gazing up towards that extended arm. Left knee keeps on drawing towards the left baby toe. Right leg straight and extended. Drawing the right side of the foot down. Inhaling, coming back up, bringing our feet in a little bit closer. Making our way now back down onto our mat, onto all fours. Knees well spread out, releasing your bum back into child's pose. Ensuring we have ample room for our bump. And either staying here for a little while longer or coming up to sitting. Taking our time now, let's make our way back down onto our mat, lying on our left side and preparing ourselves for our final pose of Shavasana. And Shavasana is our final pose here of resting. So we take our time getting nice and comfortable. Maybe popping a cushion under our head, maybe popping a cushion under our top knee, choosing whatever feels right for us. And taking our time, getting nice and comfortable. And giving ourselves a few more moments here, maybe slightly adjusting. Maybe if we can even get 5% more comfortable, wiggling around and finding that perfect spot. That perfect, comfortable position that we can stay resting for a duration of time. And as we settle here, let's again take a deep breath into our nose. Our belly expands. And then exhaling out through our mouth, allowing ourselves to release. And in this practice, we're going to travel our awareness around our body. And we don't need to make any effort to relax these parts of our body. Ideally, we try to remain completely still. But of course, if we feel uncomfortable or awkward, we can move, but let's move with awareness. So as we journey around our body, we're going to imagine as if there's a glowing light of vitality shining into each part of our body, sending each part of our body wellness and health. So we'll begin our journey from the crown of our head and imagining a glowing light here shining into the crown of our head. Moving down through the back of our skull, the back of our neck, and then moving through each vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down towards our tailbone. And seeing this glowing light meandering down through our spine, sending this glowing light of vitality into our entire spine. Bringing our awareness to our left shoulder blade and our right shoulder blade. Our left lower back and our right lower back. Through our left bum cheek and our right bum cheek. The back of our thighs, the back of our knees. Seeing this glowing light flowing down through the back of our calves, right down to our heels. As we visualize here, our entire back of our body being bathed in this glowing light, in this vitality. And drawing our awareness through the soles of our feet, through our heels, through our inner and outer arches of our feet, through the balls of our feet. The pads of our big toes and our second toes, our third toes, our fourth toes and our baby toes. As we allow the whole of the soles of our feet to also bathe in this vitality, in this well-being. Moving through the front of our feet, through the front of our shins, the front of our knees, the front of our thighs. Seeing this glowing light moving into our left hip bone and our right hip bone. Allowing our entire legs again to glow bright with this vitality, with this glowing light. Moving up into our navel, into our womb. And for a moment, let's just dive into our womb, bringing our awareness into our womb as we visualize our little growing babe floating around, cozy, oblivious to anything else that's happening in the world. As our little babe is being lulled to sleep by the sound of our breath and the vibration of our heartbeat. And in a moment we'll return to our babe. But right now, as we come back into our own body, seeing this glowing light shining into our diaphragm, up into our chest and our rib cage, through our right shoulder, our right upper arm, our right elbow, our forearm, our right wrist, the front and back of our right hand, through our thumb and our index finger, our middle finger, our ring finger and our baby finger, the whole of our right arm, the whole of our right arm. Moving back up our arm and across our chest into our heart, and seeing the light so strong, radiating out so bright from our heart. As we move across our chest to our opposite shoulder, our elbow, our wrist, down through each one of our fingers. And visualizing here both of our arms glowing bright with this glowing light, with this vitality. Moving back up our arm through the front of our neck, into our chin and our jaw. Through our right cheek and cheekbone, our right ear and earlobe, our right temple, across our forehead to our left temple, our left cheek and cheekbone, our left ear and earlobe, down to the chin and our jaw. Through our lower lip, our tongue, our upper lip, the tip of our nose, the bridge of our nose, in through the left eye and the right eye. As we bring our awareness back down to the midline of our body and back into our womb. And we look again and we imagine what our little growing baby may look like. And even if all the parts of the body haven't been created yet, we imagine what they will look like. And we send this glowing light of vitality into each part of our little growing baby's body. And we begin our journey from the crown of baby's head, down through the back of their skull, down through their spine as it curves around to their tailbone, through the left shoulder blade and their right shoulder blade, their left lower back and their right lower back, into their little bum cheeks, the back of their thighs, the back of their knees, their calves, their ankles, and through the soles of their feet. And we imagine this glowing light traveling into each one of their toes, through their big toes and their second toes, third toes, fourth toes, and their baby toes. And their baby toes. And we move up here to the front of their feet, the front of their shins, their knees, their thighs, through their left hip and their right hip, and the whole of their legs, and seeing this glowing light radiating out from their legs and up into their navel. And for a moment, let's see this concentration of light here in their belly button, this connection, this physical connection between baby and us, visualizing the umbilical cord, and the whole way along this cord is radiating out so bright with this glowing light, so bright with this vitality. Moving up through the front of baby's body, through their chest, through their right shoulder, their elbow, their wrist, and down through each one of their little fingers. Moving back up baby's right arm, across their chest and into their heart. And we see again this light shining so bright in our little baby's heart. Down through their left shoulder, their left elbow, their left wrist, through each one of their tiny little fingers. And moving back up their left arm and up to the front of their neck and into their face. And for a moment, as we pause here, let's visualize what our little baby may look like, what their little face may look like. Will they have your eyes? Will they have your nose? And whatever they will look like, it will be absolutely perfect. And as we draw this light around their lower lip, their tongue, their upper lip, the tip of their nose, the bridge of their nose, their left eye and their right eye, through their left ear and their right ear, and up to the crown of their head. As we visualize our little babe glowing so bright here with vitality, so bright with this glowing light. And we move back into baby's heart and back into our heart. And we see these as the two strongest, brightest lights shining in our body. As we see this light shining from our heart and our baby's heart. And this connection, this energetic connection that lives far longer after baby's born. As we hold two hearts in our body. And as we stay here now for a few more moments, we may like to simply just lie in this stillness and rest in this calmness. Or maybe we may like to send our little babe a message of love, maybe to be safe, to be strong, to be healthy. Or maybe we don't need to say anything at all. So whatever we choose, let's give ourselves a few moments here. And as we slowly now bring our awareness back into our body, we can wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes. Slowly, when we're ready, slowly starting to wake up our body. And then we place our hands back on our heart. And again, we may not need to say anything at all. Or we may like to just simply again return to our sankalpa, to our intention that we set at the start of our practice. As we mentally repeat it to ourselves 3 times. And we can stay here for as long as we like. Or if we're ready, we can slowly make our way up into sitting. Bring our hands together into prayer in front of our heart. Thank you. Namaste.